we all have our own values and beliefs. I mean, what's important to you, you know? And if they can't answer that, then, you know, I just say they're not really interested in having a relationship or a conversation with me. So
Now that's
next,
interesting, and you didn't actually tell us much about what you do. So what do you do if you're not a coach?
I'm doing more about wellness, training, wellness. It's all, you know, with a thread of kindness in it, right? You know, like kindness training, but more about wellness, workplace wellness, um, helping people to be more um, self-sufficient or mastery about themselves so that they are healthier themselves. Because
Mm.
my belief is just through my own, I started promoting kindness in business 20 years ago.
Wow,
And through all my experiences, we're like worse condition than we were 20 years ago. But
absolutely.
and so what I realized through all the time that I've been doing that is that, you know, we all come to work with our own garbage, our own baggage.
Mm.
So we show up in the workplace and we expect everybody to treat us nice and kind and expect all this personality stuff to happen. But meanwhile, we're all in the workplace with our baggage. And so we're all fighting each other in our baggage. So my goal is to try to get people to take a look at what they're bringing to the workplace. Who are they and why are they bringing whatever they're bringing rather than bringing the best selves to the workplace?
Now, go on, sorry, were you going to say something
That's
more?
good.
So well, I say you're quite right. I agree that things are worse now than they were 20 years ago. In fact, 20 years ago, when I was in, well, maybe 30 years ago, when I first started out, you'd all go out and drink at the pub and at lunchtime, and it was quite a sort of um, very blokey,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the kind of fun that masks exactly what you're saying about this baggage that people bring to the debate. So there was a woman whose name I can't remember, but we spoke about us setting up this LinkedIn Me Too page, and her perspective was that these men are hurting and need to be helped. Now, I can acknowledge that as a rule, when someone lashes out or is just rude or sexual, it comes from maybe an insecurity or a pain.
Mm-hmm.
So how can other women watching these videos recognize in the way that you can? Because you've obviously got more experience. What can they look
Experience
for?
in what? In
Well,
what?
what can they look for in the way? So if it was for a younger person like Gazelle, like a 20
Mm-hmm.
or a 22-year-old, what should they be looking out for? Because the trouble is, there was a story in the UK a couple of weeks ago on the BBC website that on average 12, 13-year-old girls, so in secondary school, are
Mm-hmm.
getting 10 requests a night for nude or semi-nude pictures. And so this problem that is experienced on LinkedIn starts in very early puberty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, you know, for me, when that happens, it's because the parents aren't teaching the young men,
Mm.
you know, proper protocols or, you know, manners or whatever you want to call. I don't even know what you would call it, but they're not really taught how to be a gentleman, for
And more
example.
than that, sorry to interrupt, it's not,
Yeah, go
and they
ahead.
could be trying to do that, and then on
Yeah,
the surface, they're, trying to respond to their parents in the right kind of way, but they're not monitoring their
right.
behavior. So if they're looking at their devices, right, and
Yeah,
seeing that they're asking for this, they can snuff that out. On the
yeah,
other end, if their daughters, looking at their phones and they're getting these things, I mean, if I was a father of that kid, I would definitely be aghast and taking some kind of action on that. Not
right,
just to only say, hey, disconnect from these people or whatever, but even beyond that, because that's sexual harassment.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It has to come from the parents of these children for both sides. But You know, if the guys are asking for this information, you know, got to say, well, where are the parents here?
Mm.
And same with the girls. If they're going to respond, it's like obviously these girls don't have any confidence. They're looking for approval, all in the wrong places.
It's
You know,
it's interesting because I live in a block of flats, and there's a couple of presumably teenagers who are doing this Instagram shoot,
yeah,
and they literally spent about 5 hours with lighting and different makeup and stuff like that for one or two pictures
yeah,
as this idealized version of themselves. And
yeah.
you see, and you say, I've got to get you on. Tell me how to pronounce your name properly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
might,
sure. No problem.
Say again.
Yes, Anusuya.
Anasia. So you're of this generation, these young people that have only ever been on mobiles. Is
Yeah.
that so? We know about some of the culture in India. Is this a problem you face, or have you been asked for these sort of things?
There are so many problems. You can see in our young generations, mostly the teenagers. Now they are utilizing this Instagram platform is like, they are like, it's like for them, it's like a play. So I get a request. I have got all Instagram accounts. I got requests like anything. And very small kid, like 10 years, 12 years, they
Wow.
try to flatter. They try to flatter. Like simply this day, trying to, manipulate some of the things, and they talk and they try to hack you. You can say it's hacking indirectly. So they try to like get a track, like they try to say me in my, now I already explained you about my business. So they try to track me like, okay, hey ma'am, okay, I'm interested in your business. And then they'll ask my number, and that number directly video call without knowing anything. They said, no, actually, I like you. I like it. They like, they don't have any kind of, that, what you
filter.
call say, yeah. So directly they approach. So you can see the teenagers are mostly now, I can say that this pandemic also it's a cause, because they don't have, now they are not studying, they don't have schools, even the exams have, stopped, their exams are not held properly. So they have enough time. So instead of that, they are not utilizing the time properly. This is simply, some of them they are wasting the time, but some of them they are doing it, they are utilizing this properly.
Okay, so you do get this, and the fact it's coming from 10 or 11-year-old boys is, yeah. What, Mary Lynn, with you, right? So, okay, number one, LinkedIn isn't a dating platform, but what is the age profile allegedly of the people that are approaching you? Are you getting very young men, or are you getting, and it's not appropriate, but if it was age appropriate?
Well, they're not per se young. They're more older people, probably older than I am, that are reaching out. Probably most of them.
So that then would indicate that this is a problem that has been going on for all of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so people that follow me, oops, he said, dropping on the floor. People that follow me, that's my phone, because I won't have anything to do with WhatsApp groups or alerts or pings and all this sort of stuff. Indeed, my entire approach to LinkedIn is a focused period at 3, maybe 4 occasions throughout the day. And the rest of the time, I don't look at it.
Right.
So is the problem the parents? Because we're in different corners of the world, all seeing the same thing happening? Or is it so I would suggest that what in the 70s was recognized as pornography has been applied to all aspects of life. So a food commercial is, they puff them up and paint these things and make them so that they just look so amazing and delicious.